I am jumping over what I had planned this morning. Um, this one is a long one, so I'm breaking it up into 7 parts. My name is Rory Houlihan. I ran for the U.S. Senate this spring 2016 so I could stop the ticking time bombs and put our economy on track for a bright new day, instead of all things ending. Let me educate you on the ticking time bombs and tell you the rest of the story. Part 7A: Man's two weapons, his fist and his mouth. Mankind ain't the strongest or the largest, or the fastest animal. Then why are we lords over all the animals? I studied Taekwondo from a U.S. Marine sergeant and karate, and I know that it don't take much thinking just to use our fists. But to use them precisely, you do have to use your brain. That is why there are belts to signify levels of competency. Our God-given brains allow us to do so. So, our first weapon we use is our fists. The second weapon requires a bit more brain power and was far more deadly than our fists alone. That is our mouths and language. I was taught to fight how? Instruction through action and language. Just as we have two weapons, so do societies. The United States has our Army, Navy, Air Force, our fists. But we have our State Department, CIA, and Peace Corps. They are our voice. My little sister belonged to the Peace Corps for a number of years. It's a great thing we do. She now teaches English all over the world. Do you think you would rather receive a helping hand instead of a slug? I think you'd rather receive a helping hand instead of a slug. It's the better way to go. Kennedy was extremely wise by creating it. The oldest of our nation's voices is our State Department, and the oldest position is the Secretary of State. We are taught that there are levels of secrecy: confidential, classified, secret, top secret, official government channels. But by law, they would hold to a certain period of time, 20 years max. Before that period ends, Congress can subpoena those records, exposing those records to many eyes and many more mouths. Have official government communications been leaked lately? Snowden, WikiLeaks, hundreds, if not thousands, of classified communications released in the last, 5 years? Seems like these official sites are awfully damn insecure. What do you do? Where do you go when official communications are not secure? Ben Franklin faced that in France. Thomas Jefferson faced that too. Do you honestly believe that Thomas Jefferson told the world he was going to buy the Louisiana territory from France? If he did, do you honestly believe we would still be seized to Shining Sea? Most likely would still be just 13 colonies. England wanted that land too. Good thing Thomas Jefferson broke today's conservative laws. No, Thomas Jefferson sent a good friend that he trusted with verbal communications, off the record instructions, and a briefcase full of misleading instructions on the record instructions. Thomas Jefferson had already laid the foundation when he was in France earlier. If you don't trust official communications, you have to turn to off-the-record communications. It is a tool in our toolbox, and the oldest, top secret way of communicating there is. One-to-one communications you control. Colin Powell was not setting up Miss Hillary when he told her to have her own private server. He was telling her to use a standard operating procedure in the digital age. Do you honestly believe that the person who told the U.S. where Osama bin Laden was went to us.gov. Give me a break. And my wife and I may be hicks, but we ain't dumb. Do you think folks live for more than 20 years? Yeah. What do you do to safeguard their lives? Off the record communications, which in the digital age means off site communications or your own private servers. Ben Franklin said, where there are three or more, no secret can be kept. You can use several nondescript websites and addresses, hide in plain sight, change more quickly your trace information, those lovely numbers that identify your computer or device and location, allowing you to ghost your server. End of part one. The reason why.